We've all heard the phrase, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression, right? Do you know how quickly someone formulates their first impression of you? Generally, it takes about 7 seconds, maybe even as short as 1 second. If that's really the case, what's one way to ensure you're making a tip-top first impression? Stop saying Yes, it's simple, but not necessarily easy, and it may be a constant battle. I still catch myself even after years of trying not to. What's the big deal, you ask? Here are a few reasons to put a stop to the ums. It's distracting. When you're trying to make a point, having these meaningless sounds interrupt your sentences is distracting to the listener. Your audience may view you as lacking in authority or confidence if you're using crutch words in between important words. Whoever you're talking to may have participated in Toastmasters, which means they are counting how many times you say and ah, and they're keeping little tally marks. They are annoyed and wondering why you haven't gotten this under control. You won't come across as polished, poised, or charismatic if ums and ahs are popping up all over when you speak. Think of your favorite TED Talks or the best speeches you've ever heard. John F. Kennedy's inaugural address had many memorable lines, including this: "We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and success of liberty." Can you imagine if that were laden with ums? It wouldn't have had the same impact, not even close. So how do you stop saying those words? Like every other bad habit you want to break, it takes work and focus and concentration, but it can be done. Do these 5 things and you'll be umless in no time. Number 1, don't be a lazy talker, even when you're talking to your dog. Sometimes people think it's only important to do a great job speaking when they're in front of a crowd, at a job interview, or some such important affair. The truth is, if you're always doing your best to speak without crutch words, then when you really need to impress, you will do just that. Number 2, stop and pause. We often say when we're trying to formulate our next sentence and don't want to have awkward silence. Forget about awkwardness because conversations ebb and flow, and having a few seconds of silence is perfectly fine. When you're figuring out what you're going to say next, don't give in to the temptation of using a crutch word. Just pause and focus. The words will come to mind. You have to train yourself to do this over and over. Number 3, practice speaking to people without saying Try this on your next phone call. Perhaps it's with your cable provider or another service that's on the fritz. Challenge yourself to explain the problem to the customer service rep without using any filler words. Practice this at your next meeting when you're asked for your opinion. It will become easier the more you do it. Number 4, speak in short and complete sentences. It's easy to have ums creep in when you are talking in long, run-on sentences. If you speak in short sentences, you'll get to your point and reduce the chance of adding in a crutch word as a bridge to your next thought. Plus, no one likes to listen to rambling talkers, so whoever you're speaking with will appreciate the clarity and the brevity. Number 5, ask family and friends to hold you accountable. Okay, I realize this sounds a little bit much, but wouldn't you hate to have to give your friends money every time you say a crutch word? This will motivate you to stop with the ums already. Ditching ums and ahs isn't the easiest habit to break, but you'll feel much better when you do. Being a strong communicator is essential for success. Expressing your ideas clearly and succinctly will help you to be seen as an influential leader, plain and simple.